into another edition of High School Lowdown. I'm Steve Wilson, and with me as always are staff writers Ernest Boker and Jeff Berg. Well, Warren Central will be taking on Callaway at Viking Stadium, and Jeff, tell us about the Callaway Chargers.
Callaway is they lost to Northwest Rankin last week, 20-6. They feature a large offensive line led by Justin Spears, a 340-pound senior tackle. They also have Roderick Taylor, one of the best sophomores in the state of Mississippi. The featured running back is Daryl Jones Jr., the coach's son. They were in the game against Northwest Rankin all the way to the end. Northwest Rankin had made some turnovers to keep them in the ball game. Warren Central, on the other hand, had four turnovers against Pearl, 2 touchdowns on interception returns run back. That's one of the big things that Josh Morgan has worked on this week, is to correct no mistakes. The best thing about the game last week was of his 45 underclassmen, about 80% of them saw action on the field. They feel like the team will make progress as the year goes on.
Well, PCA had a pretty morale-stirring victory against Union Christian. There was a question on whether Jonah Masterson was going to be able to make it back from his appendectomy. Talk about what he did out there and talk about what the Eagles did.
Well, they were so efficient on offense, they really had to engineer a drive to get him some playing time, throwing the ball. It's 56-0. They scored on the first play a bunch of times, had 14 offensive snaps, scored 7 touchdowns. So he got in the game, looked pretty good this time that they threw him, or the passes that he threw. So, he'll get some more playing time this week for sure.
And I know Wade Patrick said he definitely didn't want to do any quarterback draws or quarterback runs or anything of that sort, with Jonah kind of still a little ailing.
Yeah, well, Jonah didn't give him that option. He scrambled one time, took a pretty wicked shot at the end of it. Another time they botched a handoff on supposed to be a fullback dive on the last play. Somebody went the wrong way, and he ended up basically bootlegging for a touchdown. So, but this week they may, another week healthier, they may try and run with him a little bit more.
Well, St. Aloysius will be taking on another Catholic school rival, this time Greenville St. Joe. And the big matchup for St. Aloysius is going to be dealing with St. Joe quarterback Raines Rester. He's a 6'3", 240-pound quarterback that's probably a lot bigger than most Class 1A linemen. And talking with Coach B.J. Smithart yesterday, the big thing that he wanted to stress with his guys was he wants them to contain. He wants them to make sure that they wrap up on this guy, because he's going to be a tough guy to bring down. Last week he rushed for 87 yards and 3 TDs. They beat Riverside 21-20, but he only went 5 of 20 passing. So he's not the most accurate passer, but he's definitely a running threat for them to contend with. Well, Vicksburg's going to get a chance to rest after a pretty bruising loss to Brandon in the opener of the Red Carpet Classic. I think you saw the game.
Yeah.
What was the biggest thing that jumped out at you about Vicksburg that they need to correct in this off week?
They've got to find some more linemen. That was the biggest thing about that game. Was Brandon had 90 players, 40 linemen. Vicksburg had 5 linemen who were ready to play. And like I said, when you have that, it just stretches your team so thin.
Well, the biggest impact I saw was Nelson Adams, who is the big lineman who's a Mississippi State commitment. He was in Cameron Cooksey's face just about every snap. But the best part of the game was Darius Youngblood. He blocked him one-on-one and stopped it, which was amazing. You're talking about a 5'5" guy who weighs maybe $165 against a guy who's 6'5", about 270. Did you see that play?
Well, no, I didn't see that one. I thought the present play was AJ Stamps. No, it looks like he's going to have a big year. He had the interception in the end zone. He caught the touchdown late. He on the one good drive Vicksburg had in the first half, Cooksey completes 5 passes. He completed, they had the seam route 3 times to him. Good. It was a good job of him.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of High School Lowdown. For Ernest Boker and Jeff Berg, I'm Steve Wilson. Be sure to read your sports section at VicksburgPost.com and check out our Twitter feed. Tune in next week.